All right, in this video, gonna be fixing PCV on the A6. Basically just gotta replace a part underneath the supercharger and a couple other things. Got some new bleeder screws for the back, and then I also got valve cover gaskets because I do have a little leak on this side. And yeah, I'm gonna just try to get this thing 100% back on the road. But yeah, I gotta have some fun with it first. All right, so far just removed the belt from supercharger and then took off the tube or the intake, and then this little part right here, that vacuum line. And then now I start draining coolant. I gotta empty out the coolant, and then after that, we're gonna be doing all the clips and stuff around the supercharger. All right, now that the coolant's pretty much all out, I'm gonna start doing a bunch of these different plugs. I kind of forgot which ones need to come off and which ones don't. And I believe I have a couple that are actually broken, so yeah, a lot of fun. All right, now that we got all this stuff pretty much pulled out, now we should be ready to unscrew this and then also undo the coolant right there. Trying to get as much drained out of this supercharger as I can before pulling it, because I would hate to spill coolant all over the engine bay in spots that it shouldn't be. So yeah, just opened up the bleeder screws and then also opened up this to start getting some air in it. All right, got the coolant all drained out of the supercharger. Now I just need to undo the 6 bolts and pray that I have everything disconnected, and this bitch should lift out, hopefully. I hope and pray, because I really don't want to deal with this for too long. I need a win. All right, I proceeded to not get all the coolant out, and found that out by spilling it all on my foot. So yeah, great. All right, now to the pretty fun part. Disconnecting everything underneath here to get to this bullshit plastic piece right here. Yeah, this sucks. I hate it. Also, this doesn't look like it failed. Doesn't look like it has any cracks or messes in the O-ring. So I'm not gonna reuse it though, because I bought a new one, but just wanted to double check just in case it was this, and could just toss that back on. But just in case I forget, I'm gonna be throwing on these metal bleeder screws, because the plastic ones tend to strip out. I mean, granted, these ones aren't stripped out, but better safe than sorry. So I'm gonna pull these bad boys off right now. All right, small change, but in the long run, will definitely do wonders. So yeah. Again, this is the part number. Also gonna throw the link in the description for it, just because, you know, why not make it easier, you know? Fuck those things. I also would like to get more stuff to make this not heat soak as bad. One of the things is a bigger heat exchanger. Goes somewhere in there. I also need to get the proper tune, because I have IE's stage 1 tune on it, but I need the stage 2 because I have downpipes and an intake. And stage 1 tune doesn't support those at all, so I'm actually underpowered right now. But I want to get, you know, bigger heat exchanger, you know, handle all the heat. Need to get the stage 2, and then I also might look into better intercoolers for the supercharger and a smaller pulley. But I'm gonna do that in one fell swoop, because I'm not just gonna buy those parts at a time. So yeah, well, that's ideas. And then once that's done, this thing is gonna stay exactly the way it is. I mean, I would like to get the I believe it's the S6 or the RS6 grill inserts, just to let in more airflow, because it is just, you know, constricted. I definitely want to also get the wheels touched up too, because my wife has been very unforgiving and curbed the shit out of them every chance she gets. So yeah, I got these parts off of FCP Euro, I believe. Either that or ECS tuning for these gaskets right here. Again, I can put a link in the description for all the parts that I'm using. You know, make your life a little bit easier if you're doing maintenance on your A6. Yeah, I just need to crack this bad boy open. Just so I can kind of compare the two parts before I pull it out of the car, and then once I get that one out of the car, I'm gonna check how much different they are. All right, so the audio cut out. I was just comparing the two parts, showing that one is a little bit more dirty and gross than the other, and kind of just explaining what I was gonna do. Seeing some fluid down in there, and I'm curious, is that oil? Let me just stick that in there. And it's oil. Also really hoping none of my injectors got fouled or anything, because I really don't want to deal with that. But all right, gotta start actually taking shit off. Believe we got to get some of these plastic tubes out of the way, obviously, and then fuel line, and then should be good after that. But yeah, just got to be really careful because all this stuff is like crazy fragile, especially the plastic tubes. Yeah, it's gonna start by getting this piece out. Let's connect to these actuators. I'm just gonna disconnect it at the T right here and hopefully lift this up out of the way. All right, just gotta remember this piece right here. I took off this connector to kind of fold it out and just unplugged it right there because that T did not want to come loose. And I'm really not trying to break this shit. So just gonna try to fold it up out of the way a little bit, and it's gonna be as good as it's gonna get. Don't worry, that connector was already eviscerated before I pulled it out, but it did get broken some more. So yeah, all this heat that gets generated up in here is just screwing this stuff over. Now this did have a zip tie on it, I'm assuming because it was so easy to pick up. This was pretty much just sitting like that up underneath this fuel line. All right, now we get to have a little bit more fun because turns out got to disconnect both of those. So yeah, I got to take off these fuel lines and pop these off. Now, with one of the more important things with taking these parts off is just remembering how you got your flaps. Because if you remember in a video like almost a year ago, maybe more, before I went to Colorado, I had to redo some of the stuff in here to fix that because I had to fix a fuel leak in here anyways. But yeah, so just remember to do that properly. All right, gonna have to replace an O-ring on an injector, but also looking at my valves are atrocious. So I am trying to figure out who to go through to get them cleaned out and stuff though, but yeah, very gross. Gonna get this O-ring swapped out while I can. I still got a bunch of the injector parts to refresh just in case something like this happens. After pulling that one off, even grosser than I would have imagined, like all that oil seeped up in there from the failed PCV. Ended up pulling off another O-ring, lost it, which is not really good. I do have extra, of course, but yeah, I don't know where that one went, and if it did fall into anything, let's hope it doesn't blow up my car. Yeah. All right, now that we got all this pulled off, I had to bust out the headlamp. I gotta pull this hard fuel line off, but in order to do that, I gotta get that one bolt and then go to this one and then disconnect it right there at the fuel high pressure fuel pump. So yeah. All right, so just got that line off. Gotta be careful again not to spill any fuel. Now it's just, honestly, it's just these two big ass things, which I might be able to work around. I might. I still ended up unhooking that. I'm gonna unhook this one too, just so it's out of the way. All right, actually freed up a lot of space taking that out. Took that shit out too. So now I got more area to look at how bad of a mistake I made getting this fucking car. Gosh. got no good lighting with this, but yeah. All right, now I just need to pull this. All right, since I got a lot of carbon buildup, I toss this in here, hopefully clean up as much of that as I can. I fortunately can't really do anything about the valves in there. I might have to just bite the bullet and get my own stuff to clean it. But that will be a later thing. Maybe when I do all the stuff for that, I'll do a full carb clean or not carb clean. Yeah, well, yeah, carbon cleaning. But yeah, I just gotta do this. Distractions aside, got all that plugged up. Literally just need these two things out of the way and then should be able to pull that thing out. All right, gonna get this one up and out of the way. I believe I can just twist it out. Not too sure, not 100% sure. Kind of scared, not gonna lie, because I really don't want to break anything. But yeah. All right, just loosen this one up. I just pulled the, oh yeah, hell yeah. All right, I just got this all loosened up. Just gotta pull that off. And then I believe just figuring out this one right here. All right, so got this coolant line pulled. Some people, you know, pull the whole thing and undo a bunch of shit in the back. I didn't want to do that. I refuse. So I ended up getting it off just by loosening the bracket back there. Right here, that has a couple wires. I bent it back a little bit. And then pulled it out. More coolant started coming out, so paying the price on that, but almost done now, so. All right, after 3 clean cycles and changing the fluid and stuff, I believe these are fully, oh yeah, like a million times better. Look at that, that's crazy. I believe I still gotta, I mean, I've been hitting it with oh man, that just slid right off, hell yeah. Might be 1 or 2 that I gotta still kind of final clean, but yeah, looks a million times better. I did 3 cycles of from this little Harbor Freight cleaner, the 460 time plus the heat, and then like a mix of water and purple power degreaser, and brake clean in between, cleaning them off, and it worked. We're good. Did not film any of it, but got it pulled out. Got it all out. Looks fucking stupid and dumb and gross. So yeah, now get to put the old one in and redo everything. All right, so it's a new day. Finished the A6 this morning actually at like 3 a.m. Would have been done like a couple hours sooner, but by the time I got back home, or not got back home, when I got done, you know, everything's put back together, just started it up, it was fine. And then get out to check underneath, and it's dumping fuel. And in the process of putting on the fuel parts, it or the little openers for the injectors and stuff, ripped 2 O-rings, 1 on each side. So I had to take it all apart and redo it all over again, which was so much fun. So yeah. Anyways, this video is wrapped up. I hope, you know, if you're using it as a template to do work on your A6, you can at least understand a little bit of what I'm trying to get at. I do apologize for it being, you know, at night, but wife needed to get to work and I had to work on the car. So yeah, till next time.